Before we get started on today's video, I know this has nothing to do with weaving, but I got these new plants and I'm just thinking they're so cool and I wanted to show them to you. These guys that look like this are lithops. I'm not going to try to pronounce their scientific names, but anyhow, these are called split rocks, and I think they're not supposed to look exactly like they do. They've been overwatered. Apparently you're not supposed to ever water these things, just very rarely, but I just wanted to show them to you because I think they're cool. Alright, okay, we're back. Let's get on topic for today. Sorry about that. I love those plants. What can I say? We're gonna take the rugs off the loom today, and I made 3 of the crochet rugs, and I just took pictures along the way so you could see them in progress. So we'll start with that, and then after the pictures I'll show you how to cut it off and finish it, and then I'll see you back at the end of the video. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the last of the 3 crochet rugs that I'm gonna do for this run is finished. And you can see all 3 are wrapped around the carpet roll. Alright, we're ready to go ahead and take the rugs off. The first thing that you want to do is release the brake and let the string drop so you can start to wind it around. So let's go ahead and release the brake. You can see the strings are all loose now. So the next thing we need to do is come down to the carpet lever and start to bring those rugs around where we can cut them off. We need to go ahead and roll this down. It's super loose right now. So I'm going to go ahead and use the carpet lever to bring that down. And I do this just to keep everything compacted because these orange strips keep the strings straight when you first start, but they also hold the hem in and hold everything together as you take them off the loom. So I want to go ahead and beat that down as I bring this warp down. Okay, and you want to drop it down enough that you have enough string between your hem, and if you want to tie a fringe or whatever your finishing is going to be, that you have enough string to do that with. And I can't overstate how important that is. I learned the hard way because I always try to conserve string. It's expensive, we don't want to waste it, and I would try to leave less space, and it always turns ugly. There's not enough room for me to tie a proper knot, and it ends up not looking good. So it's worth it to use a little bit of extra string to make that nice for you. So let's go ahead and finish dropping this down. So again, I'm gonna tighten that up one more time. I'm gonna hit the brake, let everything drop down again, and we're gonna go ahead and tighten up again. I'm going to hit that with the beater bar just to keep everything nice and tight one more time. We're going to hit the brake again. Keep bringing that around. Okay, at this point I can't hit it with the beater bar anymore, so we'll hit the brake again. Okay, so I have that rolled down as far as I think I need it. Let me get the camera and I'll let you see how that looks. Okay, we need to cut the rug off the loom now, so we need to cut the warp strings. And I recommend using a super sharp pair of scissors to do this. It makes it a whole lot easier. The first thing I always do, make sure both the treadles are in the neutral position. And I usually use the beam here as a guide to try to cut straight. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off. I hold on to the strings as I cut them because sometimes they'll snap back and go through the reed and we don't want to have to restring it. So let's go ahead and start cutting. And just take your time, don't be in a hurry. Here's what happens even when I hold the strings. That's where it pulled itself back. So I'll go ahead and straighten that up, and I tie the warp off into a few sections just to make sure it doesn't get pulled back through by accident. Take this and just start to roll these up, which is always easier said than done. Once you get it started, it's pretty good. I'm just going to keep rolling. There's the first one. This just helps keep everything nice and straight and where it's supposed to be until we get these over to the table, and we'll cut them apart. All right, and the last one. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut these off. I'm just going to take my scissors and cut these off the loom, and then we'll come back. The rugs are off the loom now, and I put them on the table that I used to finish them. And I have just unrolled the first one. Okay, so I want to go ahead and cut the first one apart from the rest of the rugs. And you can see the space that I left in between with the string, like we were talking about, to make sure that there was enough string at the end to do your finishing. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut those apart. All right, I'm going to start tying the fringe. So I do 6 strings per knot. It lays nice for me that way, and I just like how it looks at the end. So I'll count out the first 6 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And go ahead and pull the scrap strips out. You want to take your 6th string across and you want to cross it over that 7th string, and then you're going to incorporate that in as your 6th string in this section when you tie it off. That helps hold everything together in your hem and it doesn't leave any gaps in between. Go ahead and tie the first knot. Pick up that string that we crossed over, count over 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take that next string, cross it over, tie your next knot. I'm going to go ahead and tie the fringe all the way across this side, and then I will turn it around and tie the fringe on that side the same way. Got the fringe on the first side tied, and I want to go ahead and trim it to the size I want it. I use the edge of the table to keep it straight as I cut it. Fringe is trimmed on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it around, tie the fringe and trim the other side, and then I'll finish the last 2 rugs on this run and we'll look at them when they're completely done. All right, we're finished weaving the first 3 rugs on the new warp. For the next video, I'm gonna show you how to reset the loom and start weaving again. The next rug that I think I'm gonna make is something that's called a hit or miss rug, and it's a really colorful, pretty rug, uses lots of different fabric. I'll show you how to cut the strips and attach those together to start to weave that rug. So make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye. Okay, again, are you ready to work? All right, let's get started.